All right, buy or sell, because this has been a very hot topic within the realm of Steelers draft talk. Buy or sell, Kyle Hamilton will be there at pick number 20.
No, no, no,
Thank
no.
you.
Sell it.
Thank you.
Sell it for
Thank
$1
you.
billion, a dollar, whatever the highest number on this scale is. No, there's no way. He met with the Detroit Lions today. I think if anything,
Hmm.
the media is still pushing the whole Kyle Hamilton is not a top 20 pick or is going to slide because he ran like a 4.7 or something. And the NFL is like, yeah, you can keep talking, but he's going to go like top 3. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. I could see him going number 2 to Detroit. I mean, I think I still believe he's the best player in the draft. I don't think that's going to change at all. I mean, I think that's an easy one.
I think at very worst he'll end up in a Giants uniform. It's just a matter of whether at pick number 5 or pick number 7.
Yeah, I saw Peter Schrager put him at 11 the other day, and then I heard him explain it on the Pat McAfee show, and he was like, "Oh, well, a lot of teams see him sliding, but I don't think he slides out of the top 11." And I was like, "I don't think he slides out of the top 7," and I don't understand how we've pushed the number so far back when before he ran a 4.7, people were considering him like the next amazing athlete. Like he was the head of this class, and now it's like, oh well, this guy might not even be worth the first round
I will
pick.
say there is like a guy or two like that pretty much every year that slides more than they should. Like I remember
Yeah,
Ed Oliver like slid down the draft board a little bit.
yeah,
I
yeah,
remember
yeah.
Isaiah Simmons slid down a little bit 2 years ago as
True,
well. So
true. I was watching the Laramie Tunsil.
oh yeah.
They're always guys. I mean, not
Yep.
everyone's ripping a bong, but there's always guys. Shout out our boy Aiden over here. The dude just wins giveaways and giveaways. Also, speaking of giveaways, before we get into the next one, just ordered the giveaways for the big thing that we got coming that I'll announce on Friday with Derek.
Okay.
But just know that just ordered the giveaways for him, so everybody should probably tune in on Friday.
Do you think buy or sell? Excuse me. Buy or sell that wide receiver heading to the 2022 NFL draft is a bigger priority than cornerback?
Yes and no. Oh man, that's a tough one. Okay, that's a tough one. So I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say wide receiver is a higher priority just because there is a depth issue at wide receiver. The Pittsburgh Steelers need a third guy right now, but I still think that they could somehow fill that somewhere. But at the same time, I know who the Pittsburgh Steelers are, and I know that they will draft a wide receiver. It's what they do. Cornerback, however, they've shown a lot of interest in some bigger guys. And I think that just might say, hey, we're attracted to first round guys who might possibly be there. Whereas we're not so attracted to first round wide receivers who might be there. So I think value wise, the Pittsburgh Steelers might have corner over wide receiver. Priority wise, I think it's glaringly obvious that wide receiver is more important.
I think having a really good front seven definitely helps a lot with the fact that they could probably wait on the corner if they needed to, but like you're looking at the receiving core and you're like, all right, well, like outside of like Deontay and Claypool, you really need a third guy to step up. And so in the cornerback room, you have guys like Cam Sutton, you have Levi Wallace who just signed, you have James Pierre. So like you feel all right about that trio right there. You're definitely like an upgrade to boost the depth and the overall talent in that room. But I mean, it really feels like this whole offseason is about getting Trubisky or whatever quarterback of the future as much help as possible, whether it's on the offensive line, whether it's on the receiving core, getting Najee Harris a backup running back. Like you really need to start rounding out your offensive arsenal because at times you are going to find yourself in scenarios where you're going to need to win a shootout a couple times. And, like the Steelers' current offense is not set up to win those more times than not.
No, definitely not. Let me ask you this. Do you think that there's a possibility, buy or sell? I'll give you a buy or sell here. Ahkello Witherspoon and Levi Wallace start on the outside for the Pittsburgh Steelers this season.
I buy that. Yeah.
Yeah? with
Yeah,
Cam Sutton in the obviously at the slot and in the nickel.
yeah, and I've been a really big proponent of having Cam Sutton move around. I really do think the Steelers value him as kind of like a Swiss Army knife, to where they don't really like stick him in one position. Like they let him kind of be that utility guy across the board defensively. And I'm not the biggest fan of him in the slot. I think he can hold his own, but like I don't think he's like this like top 10 guy in the league whenever it comes to like playing in the slot and like taking away somebody like Keenan Allen, like Jarvis Landry, or anything like that. But I feel really good about Akilla Witherspoon after watching him last year. You know, I'm hoping he can take another step forward. And I mean, Levi Wallace seemed to be a very, very good player for the Buffalo Bills that just needed a change of scenery. So I'm really hopeful for those two guys on the outside.
Yeah, I mean, me too. I think that the Steelers value Cam Sutton enough to let him be the starter on the outside. I think Cam Sutton played really well on the outside last year. I thought he was super reliable, but at the same time, he has so much value. And I think this is the year where the Pittsburgh Steelers and Sutton have a conversation like, hey, where is my value going to take me farther in the NFL? Is it going to be as that utility piece, or is it going to be as an outside corner? Obviously, the checks come at an outside corner, but only if you're very good at the position. I think he is. I think this will be the year that determines where he wants to take the rest of his career. I think if he moves to a utility piece, the Steelers could keep him around for a long, long time. But I think Cam Sutton is the most underrated player on the Steelers defense. I've thought that for 2 years now.